Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Today in the NA. I'm Vinny Paracelli. The greatest show on ice has come to an end as we had 4 consecutive days of wall-to-wall hockey at the Super Rink in Minnesota. It was an incredible event that saw a high number of scouts in the building. We will look back on the event in just a moment, but as we always do, let's check out the latest commitments from the North American Hockey League. Jacob Marguerite of the Philadelphia Rebels has committed to Army. The native of Chaska, Minnesota, played in 4 games at the event last week. The 05 defenseman looks to make a big impact on Philly in his rookie season. Kenai River Brown Bears goaltender Bryant Marks has committed to the University of Alaska Anchorage. The Alaska native went 1-0 at the Showcase, stopping 25 of 26 shots in a 3-1 win over Philadelphia. Marks is entering his 2nd season with the Brown Bears. Ryan Novo of the New Jersey Titans has also committed to Army. The forward from Tonawanda, New York, has 4 points in 4 games this season. He netted a goal in the season opener against Maryland and has a point in every game he has played in thus far. The North American Hockey League Showcase took place last weekend in Blaine, Minnesota, and the Scouts definitely got their money's worth as all 29 teams shared the same building for 4 days. We had some incredible plays being made. We had an incredible shutout streak from North Iowa that lasted 11 periods, and in the end, Amarillo, Austin, Janesville, and Oklahoma all went 4-0 at the event. A great start for all of those teams. Let's hear from NAHL Commissioner and President Mark Frankenfeld and get his thoughts on the event.
I'm joined by North American Hockey League Commissioner Mark Frankenfeld. Mark, we're wrapping up a successful 4-day event here in Blaine, Minnesota. As we speak right now, it's the 2nd game against the United States National Team Development Program. It's been packed houses both nights.
Yeah, I mean, the whole weekend's been packed. The fans, the scouts, the place was fuller than it has been, even back before COVID years. So people are here. It's a great start of the season. It's been a wonderful, just the temperature of the room has just been wonderful. Scouts are happy. This is where they start. Players are playing great hockey. The feedback from the scouts and the level of play has just been fantastic. I think we're going to be, somewhere in the 300 area with scouts overall. Then you add the NA guys scouting the PHL teams as well too. We'll be well over 300 again. So it's been a fantastic event. It's a lot of energy. You come off the event. A little bit of a mental, kind of a drain, you're so used to rushing around. And then you get to see some of your best friends in hockey, the North American Hockey League, our coaches, myself, we're core to the fabric of hockey. We've been around all these people for these years, and it's great to see everybody. It's kind of sad when it ends. Even though it's long days and we've been working at it and we're probably ready for a rest, it's sad when it comes to an end.
Definitely is, and each year the showcase just keeps getting bigger and better. This year, no exception. What do you think has made this time around, like we mentioned, even better?
Well, I think the whole DNA, the whole formula in junior hockey, you've got business decisions and you've got decisions for the players, and the North American Hockey League owners really err on the side of making decisions for what's best for the players. So we translate that into everything that we do, and it just comes together and it's just built up steam. Over the course of the years. We actually have less youth teams here than we've had in the past, and we have more people in the building. And so I think that part is really attributed more to this is really the first full season. We had that COVID year, the year after COVID, and the year after COVID still had probably some question marks in it. And so now we're probably back to the first full year after COVID, and everybody's ready to move on. And obviously not discount any of the tragedy that went with it, but I think people are ready to move on and get back to playing hockey and having fun with the greatest sport and the greatest show on ice.
And as one event comes to a close, there's plenty more on tap for the league. What's next?
Well, we're going to give the staff 4 or 5 hours off, and then we're going to get back at it. But from the North American Hockey League perspective, we go into making sure we're prepared for the top prospect tournament in February at the Lemieux Center in Pittsburgh. We've got the Robertson Cup, in May, and then in between there, like we've talked about before, we've got the NAHL Showcase. They've got a top prospects in the championship, and then this is the first of approximately 12 events for the youth, the PHL. So 1 down, 11 to go. And so we've got a full staff. We're fully loaded, 16 folks from across the country with 10 down in the office with marketing and administration and hockey ops and everything you can have. So we're ready to go, and our job is to deliver the greatest events for the players so they get the opportunity to advance through our stuff and play college hockey.
Mark, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on another successful event.
Thank you, and look forward to seeing you back next year.
The event is truly one of a kind and something that is beneficial for the players and scouts alike, as the league tries to help all players reach the collegiate level. Just ask former NAHL player and coach and now NCAA coach Lenny Childs.
I'm here at the NAHL Showcase with Lenny Childs, assistant coach at Union. Lenny, let's talk about you for a little bit here. You've been all over the ranks. You first played in the NA for Janesville, went on to college hockey, went back to Janesville as an assistant coach, went to Des Moines as an assistant. Now you're at Union. Talk about how starting in this league really helped you elevate into where you are now.
Yeah, it's been a great run, and it's really started with the people, right? Like coming right into Janesville, Bill McCoshen, president owner there, kind of gave me my start as a player, and obviously to go back there and kind of create my roots as a coach and be able to learn from those guys was amazing, right? So start with the people. The league was back when I played. I think it was something about 15 or 20% of actual players got to Division I hockey, and as a coach, like that number's kind of flip-flopped, right? So it's really good to see the league not only flourish, with the players, but also with the coaches and just the overall professionalism of what we're doing.
Absolutely, and so the showcase here is the perfect event to have guys like you now come back out, get an eye on all of these kids. How does this event really help kind of encapsulate what they're trying to get done here and elevate their game to that next level?
Yeah, this event, playing as a player 12 years ago and now come back as a coach, the professionalism has gone through the roof with it, and the players are really supported with one game a day, and the meals and the things that they have for them to play their best is outstanding. And for us as coaches and scouts, we're able to bring everyone into one hub, show their skills, show their talents, be able to recruit under one roof, and I think it just shows the ability of the league, the great players and the great people running this thing, that they're all under one roof and it's just flourishing. It's amazing.
And now when you come back to events like this and you're scouting, getting your eye on these kids, what are you looking for from them?
You know what? I tend to look for the guys that can compete really hard and that can play fast, and I think that's where the game's going. Whether you're a forward, whether you're a D, goalie, the game's going really quick, and just trying to find kids that stand out in which way or another. Whether it's their penalty kill guy or whether a power play guy, finding the guys that wants to be a little bit different and want to work a little bit harder, and those are the guys that we kind of look for, especially at Union.
Well, Lenny, thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the showcase.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Overall, a great event for the NAHL, but now it's time to get back to business as divisional play resumes tonight. The highlighted series on the schedule this weekend is Austin versus St. Cloud. Like we mentioned, the Bruins went 4-0 at the showcase and will look to keep their undefeated streak going. St. Cloud went 2-1-1 at the event, but the reigning Central Division champions are aiming to show they're still the top dog in the always tough Central. We've got 25 games on the schedule this weekend, so be sure to check out all the action on NAHL TV. Follow the North American Hockey League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for some great content, including a mic'd up Matt Pinchevsky from the NAHL Showcase. Go check that out on all of our socials. And if you need more NAHL content in your life, check out the Short Shifts podcast with myself and Brandon Hofstra. You can find that on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. That's all for this week here on Today in the NA. I'm Vinny Paracelli. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.